Longhorn Nation, Sooner fans, welcome to episode 199 of the Bevo Podcast, the only podcast exclusively dedicated to covering the greatest rivalry in college football, the University of Texas and the University of Oklahoma. I'm here with my man, Kevin Miller. I am John Whitson. This is your last announcement for the big night. If you're a listener to the Bevo Podcast, you need to be at the Chicken Shack on Route 66 in Arcadia, Wednesday night, 6:30, OU Texas preview show. If you need to take out your frustration that Texas lost, causing us not to have a top 10 matchup on Kevin, he will be there. He's got big shoulders. He can take the insults. Believe me, he's done this show for the last 3 years. And the Chicken Shack, Route 66, October 8th, Wednesday, 6:30. Kevin, are you going to bring it on October 8th?
Of course I'm going to bring it, man. I don't know how to do anything else.
Well, hopefully you bring it a little bit more than the University of Texas did in the swamp yesterday against Florida. First things first, I hope nobody took the over. I hope nobody took the under like I guaranteed, because that was wrong, because I had no idea the University of Texas would give up so many points. They made Lagway look like the guy we thought he was. They made Baugh, right, the running back. I don't even have – I have his numbers. 27 for 107. Pretty good day against the Texas rush defense. It was a weird game from beginning to end. Kevin, I've been hearing from soccer dads. I've been hearing from fans of the podcast all day. They are awaiting your take. They want to know what the heck happened to the University of Texas in Florida yesterday. The floor is yours.
Well, what happened was, from a Texas standpoint, an unmitigated disaster. John, it was horrible. I went back and I watched not the whole game this morning, but at least the majority of the first half. And it was even worse than I remembered watching it live. From the opening snap, from the first play of the game, they ran, they throw a football to Dallas Wilson. He catches the ball. We hit him. The ball flies out for a fumble. Michael Taft is there. It overruns it. They get it back. He recovers his own fumble. And that was just a preview of how the day was going to go for Texas. I mean, from their first drive, they marched right down the field. They looked nothing like the team we had seen all season long. And I'm talking about Florida in this standpoint. I mean, they're running straight at us with Jaden Baugh. I mean, it's so easy. They're going off tackle, outside zone, and they're getting to the edge. Our guys are getting swallowed up. We're not getting off blocks. We get them into third down 3 times, and they convert all 3. All 3. And they look so comfortable doing it. That's what really blew my mind, is how comfortable they felt with their game plan. Running the football, passing the football. I mean, they looked nothing like the team that we had seen so far, and neither did Texas. The defensive line couldn't get off blocks. Our linebackers were constantly out of position in the wrong gaps, losing containment. It looked nothing like the team or the defense that I have seen all season. The one that I was led to believe, and I've been very vocal about this, is a championship level defense. They did not look the part at all. You want to talk about a team not being ready to play? Florida came out like their lives were on the line. They just felt like it. And they took it to us, and we did not respond. For me, it's very concerning, because this is the worst performance I've seen from Texas since the Arkansas game back in 2021.
Really? That far back?
Yes, it was that bad, John. I promise you. We lost to Georgia last year, and they really got after us, especially with their defense against our offense. But we did force 4 turnovers from Carson Beck in that game, right? So we did some good things. There was nothing good about this. It was all bad. The offense, I'll get into that. That just an absolute disaster that the offense is. But for the Texas defense to come out and get pushed around like this by Florida, it is very, very concerning. I
Okay,
don't know what to think. Real
let me
quick, I
stop
don't know
you
if
right.
this is a one-off or if this is something that I really need to be concerned about because I just saw some things that just really have me concerned. Go ahead.
Okay, no, you're fine. A couple things on the Texas defense. First of all, we talked about this right before kickoff. You and I exchanged a couple texts. Malik Muhammad, starting corner, pretty good player, out for the game. Any reason? A, any reason why he was out? And B, how much does that affect the defense's ability to be in the right spots? It doesn't sound like he would have helped in the run game, but maybe in some of those third down conversions.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have done too much in the run game, right? Because that's just getting D line getting mauled, linebackers being out of position, and missed tackles off of Jaden Ball. But this Dallas Wilson kid, first of all, you know how I'm always talking about how stars matter when it comes to recruiting, and there's a difference when having 5-star guys. Dallas Wilson, Texas recruited this guy. He was committed to Oregon. Okay. Texas was trying to get him to flip from Oregon. He ends up signing with Florida. He's been injured all year. This is college debut yesterday. And he goes 6 for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. John, he looked so good. It was like Billy Napier flew up to Columbus, Ohio, kidnapped Jeremiah Smith, put a different jersey on, and put him out there. This kid is 6'3, 215, and we could not handle him at all. I mean, this guy is in his first game. And did you see the long touchdown that he had? First of all, Kobe Black. Kobe Black is 6'2", 200 pounds playing corner. So this is not some 5'8", 180 pound guy. He pushes him, goes right through his chest, knocks him to the ground. They throw the ball to him. He catches it, runs down the sideline, shrugs off Jelani McDonald, who's been playing so good this season for Texas. We're talking about him declaring early for the NFL draft as a junior. That's how good Jelani McDonald has been this year. Shrugs him and Michael Taft off on the way to the end zone. This kid is amazing. But again, it was his first college game, and we let him. Yeah, well, he helps. I'm not saying he shuts the kid down, but I will say that Muhammad was mostly matched up on Jeremiah Smith and kept him relatively contained. So he would have helped.
Okay. Did this kid?
But that's not the reason. That's not the reason we lost the game.
Does this
because
kid?
Manny Muhammad didn't play.
Does this kid sneak up? Did Wilson sneak up on Texas? Were y'all
Well,
just simply not? Were you simply not ready for him? Though is my point. Like,
well, clearly. Well, just because there's no tape. You're just going off of high school tape, right? We know the guy's talented. That's why we tried to get him to flip to Texas from Oregon. But I don't think anybody saw that. I know Florida fans were excited to have him out there. I don't know if they anticipated 6 catches for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns against a secondary that I thought was literally the best in the entire country.
Okay. Offensively, Arch, couple touchdowns, couple interceptions, not very good efficiency, 16 of 29, slightly over 50%, 263 yards, 37 rush yards on 15 attempts. It's not the worst game in the world, but he definitely didn't go out and win you the game. The assessment of Arch, assessment of the running game, what did the game plan look like offensively, and how did it end up?
That's a really good question about the game plan because I have no idea what Sark and his staff are doing. First of all, let's start with the offensive line. I can't even put into words how poor they are. Seriously, when you're the University of Texas, this is not the type of offensive line that they should be having. They can't run block. As you can see, I've got the stat sheet here. Trey Wisner, back from injury. He's not 100%, by the way. There's no way he's 100%. But even if he was, I don't know how much it would matter. 8 rushes for 13 yards against Florida. Ryan Niblett, 2 rushes for 4 yards. Christian Clark, 1 attempt, 0 yards. That's what our running game is like. And it doesn't matter.
Real quick, you had 52 yards for the entire team.
Correct.
On the day, 2 yards per carry.
Yes. That's what this offensive line is doing, right? And then they couldn't pass protect either. Florida has not been able to get a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks this season. in any of the games they really played. They have not been dynamic from a pass rush. We knew that they were stout against the run, and they could cover a little bit in the secondary because of the way that their scheme is. They just completely dominated the Texas offensive line in every facet of the game. We couldn't run and we couldn't pass protect. Actually, I like Arch more than I did coming into this game. I think he showed incredible toughness.
No. That can't be the case. That cannot be the case.
It is absolutely the case. Man, look, you can't tell me how I feel, man. I'm telling you.
Well, I can tell you what I saw, and he did not look he did not look like a quarterback that inspired any more level of confidence.
Listen to me, man.
He looked like a pedestrian college quarterback yesterday.
Listen to me.
I don't know how you can glean optimism.
He's running. Well, if you let me talk, I can tell you. Well, he's running for his life every single play. He has been done no favors whatsoever. Think about this. I don't care how talented you are. If you have zero running game and zero pass protection, what the heck are you supposed to do out there? I don't care if you have Kyler Murray, anybody. I mean, Kyler Murray's different. He's a mutant.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Those kind of guys can make some. We can't protect for him. He has no running game. And the biggest part about it is turns out we have no real difference maker at receiver either. We have nobody who could just get separation. There's no Xavier Worthy. There's no Isaiah Bond. There's no Matthew Golden on the team. And I like our guys. I like Ryan Wingo. I like DeAndre Moore. But when I see them, I'm not seeing a pure difference maker, somebody who can just get open, who can beat guys in man-to-man coverage without being schemed open. And the thing is, even if we do get them open, our quarterback is not being protected long enough to get them the football, which leads me back to our offensive coordinator / head coach. I've got a huge problem. You remember this, John. Last year, I gave Brent Venables a ton of crap, not for his ability as a head coach, but his ability to manage Oklahoma's roster, right? Remember I told you,
yes,
I don't think you have good enough players to compete in the SEC right now, let alone making the college football playoff.
You said it.
Right? I feel this way about Texas right now. And if you remember, during the offseason, I told you, this offensive line, I don't know.
You did.
I think they should have attacked the portal more. There are guys out there. And the running backs. I know you had talked about how Quintravion Wisner was the only returning running back in the SEC that had rushed for over 1,000 yards. I'm like, okay, I like Trey. He plays hard. He's a great teammate. Everyone likes him. But I feel like for Texas, we need somebody that's a little bit more dynamic. And it's clear that we don't have that. We have no difference makers on offense. And honestly, I think it's malpractice for Sark and his staff to have this type of talent out there, especially on the offensive line and at running back, when there were guys out there who you could have gotten. Oregon went to Penn State, and look, Penn State's having their own issues, right? But we can both agree that their environment is one of the toughest environments to play in. They had 4 offensive linemen from the portal. 4. Their left tackle came from Texas State, John. Don't you think a guy from Texas State would love to play for the University of Texas? But instead, our staff looked at what we had. They looked at those guys and said, we're good, we're here, with these guys here. So I'm curious as what did they see that made them think these guys here are good enough to compete in the SEC and for us to be the team that they want to be, right? We're talking college football playoff, potential national championship. What did they see in these guys that are on the field that made them think? And I'm not just talking about the offensive line. I'm talking about the running backs too, because I didn't see it.
I think it's real simple what they saw. They are victims of their own hubris. Okay. So they see their ability to replace defensive linemen, because on the defensive line, y'all have churned through dudes over the last 3 seasons. And really, this game maybe a blip on the radar, you hope.
Maybe a one-off, right? Yeah, maybe.
Defensively. But at the same time, they look and they go, well, we're able to develop. We're Texas. We develop talent. We bring it in. We develop it. We bring it in. We develop it. This way we don't have to go pay in the portal, yada, yada, yada. And I think that there was hubris and pride on Sark's part and your offensive line coach's part, clearly, that said,
I'm going to say that. I'm going to say arrogance more than pride.
That says we can develop. We have developed these guys. They are going to. You lost 4 starters to the NFL.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. There's a reason the guys behind them didn't play. That's just how it works. And Oklahoma gets crap for going to the portal. By the way, Derek Simmons didn't look great, speaking of portal, yesterday against Kent State. We'll talk about that. But you have to go to the portal. You have to. Even if it's just depth.
Exactly.
Even if you think, hey, we're recruiting for depth. Let's go get a backup, defensive line. In this case, offensive lineman. Y'all didn't do any of that. It's really weird. Number 2, where is your big-time tight end portal recruit? That guy should be a safety valve for Arch. That dude should be Arch's. They should be roommates. And maybe they are, but they should be roommates. And he is MIA. And then the one pass I felt like you threw to him was off of, did DeAndre Moore throw that ball and overthrow him?
Wingo did.
And then
it's wide open for a touchdown. I mean,
he was wide open.
It's a great call. It's a great time call too. Yeah.
It's a good play call. But I swear I think that was injury's only target. You could correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure.
Whatever. 2 catches for 2 yards.
Yeah, it's just terrible. And then Ryan Wingo. So we're going to talk about Alabama later on. Ryan Williams is getting over that sophomore slump. He ended the season kind of tough last year, started this season. Dude, that dude's still the man. I mean, he is still so freaking good. And then you saw it with Florida, what a dude looks like. Ryan Wingo is a nice player. He's just not a dude yet.
No, he's not a dude yet. He had the 1 touchdown. It was a great play by Arch, stepping out of pressure and on the move, hitting him in stride for a touchdown. Great play. Like I said, I saw flashes from Arch that I liked, and then there was a lot I didn't like. And again, you're down 2 scores, and he has to go into hero mode because what else are we going to do as a team? You can't hand the ball off to anybody and have any type of success.
Let me give you some more defensive stats just to kind of kick your dog while you're down. Florida only had 50 tackles. They only had 50 tackles. 6 sacks and an additional tackle for loss. That's 1 out of every 10 was a sack of their tackles. That's a crazy stat.
They're not a dynamic rushing team. They blitzed a lot, but they're not a team that gets a lot of sacks.
Let me juxtapose that against your said defensive line. While you're maligning your offensive line, I think you're upset with your defensive line too. I think you made that pretty clear. 87 tackles. 87 tackles, Kevin. You had 3 tackles for loss, 0 sacks.
0 sacks. Again, I don't know if you saw it's one of their first drives, and Lagway, we got a little bit of pressure, got him off his spot. He's rolling out to his right. He pulls up on that injured ankle, has to do a jump pass just to throw the ball away. He's limping around. We never got him off his spot the rest of the game. We never got him off his spot. There was a play where we had Trey Moore, who I really like as an edge guy. They had a block 1-on-1 with the tight end. The tight end's blocking him, and he's getting no pressure at all. I mean, Lagway was so comfortable in the pocket. Just never felt threatened back there at all. They did whatever they wanted, really on both sides of the ball. And that's why I compared this game to that Arkansas game, because literally nothing went right. And there was nothing we could do on either line of scrimmage. It was completely demoralizing.
It's only been a day. It's been 24 hours since the loss for you guys. You've now since dropped out of the top 25.
Deservedly so, yes.
You're 3-2 with 0 quality wins. Is the performance? I think we can all agree that the defensive performance against Ohio State was very, very good. Whatever we want to think about Julian Sayin, who actually had a very good game yesterday, but whatever we
He's
want to
good,
think
man.
about it. Well, yeah, whatever we want to think about him. They still have Jeremiah Smith. They, whatever. They still
And
have Ryan Day
Tate.
coaching them. They were the defending national champions. You held them to 14 points at home. Which is your defense? Is your defense the team that played against Ohio State, or the defense that played against Florida yesterday in the Swamp?
That is a really good question. I have no idea how to answer it. To be determined. But this was very, very eye-opening. How they moved our guys around, and and look, we know Jaden Ball. I told you earlier that last year they sneaky ran the ball well against us, especially once the game was out of hand. They kept running it, and they were getting some things. They ran for 200 yards against us last year, by far the most that anybody did all year. But again, a lot of you could say it was mop up time. We had some of our starters out of the game. But the way that, we're hitting him, and every time we hit him, he seems to get 3 or 4 more yards.
Yeah,
It is just him. It's not like they're pushing the pile. This is in the first drive of the game. Like the offensive line, sometimes the offensive line comes in. No, it's literally just him. He's turning his legs. And again, there are not a lot of running backs that are as big and physical as him. But the way that they were pushing us around, it's very, very eye-opening. And I don't know what to expect the rest of the season. Now, I don't know if Oklahoma has the personnel. I think you don't have a back like Jaden Ball on offensive line like they have. But we still got to play Georgia. We have teams that are even better than Florida is. Y'all are better than Florida. I think y'all are a better football team than Florida. Now I think they have more talent top to bottom. I think y'all are a better football team than Florida. Y'all don't even get me started on y'all's defensive line. Y'all are so much better up front on the defensive line than even Florida is. And we could do nothing to handle them. So I don't know. I told you, I texted you in the game. I said, you guys could have double-digit sacks next week.
What I like about Florida is what appears to be what is now a triple-headed monster, right? With Lagway, Ball, and Wilson. Oklahoma doesn't really have that right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And Texas doesn't have it either, right?
Oh, God, no.
Oklahoma, speaking of the AP, we've dropped a spot. I don't care.
Who cares? Yeah, whatever.
And I made the case last week that A&M should have been ranked ahead of us. They had more quality wins, I thought. But it is really hard for me to believe we're the sixth ranked team in the country, Oklahoma, when we cannot run the ball. Right? Yeah. So that's concerning. You're having the same problem. You can't run the ball. Florida can run the ball, right?
They can run the ball.
And if they can run the ball, and I don't think Florida's a great team. They're not winning the SEC, but they're built like an SEC team in the trenches, run the ball. And now you had this Dallas Wilson kid, and you're like, oh crap.
Now you got something here. Yeah.
Let me tell you this. I am not happy that Texas got beat. Not that I wasn't rooting for Florida. Not that I didn't love every score update that I got that showed Florida winning.
From me, by the way. I'm the one who's updating you on this as it's happening.
You were an adult during the entire time. That's correct. But leading into Oklahoma, leading into the Red River rivalry, we did not need Texas to feel embarrassed. We did not need Texas to have to show their pride and rise to the challenge and avenge a loss and do all the things that they might potentially do 6 days from now in Dallas. Like, we didn't need it. Yeah. And then when I look at we're transitioning to the Oklahoma game, Kevin, if you didn't pick up on this. So when I look at the Oklahoma game, and yes, we won 44-0. We did not cover the spread. That's all right. I saw a lot of things I didn't like. Nothing defensively. Defense was fine, whatever. In fact, we had 2 turnovers, which was nice to see. One a scoop and score, which could be good in the future. Arch has 5 interceptions on the year so far. Maybe that's, some opportunities for OU's D. Whatever, we'll get there. But Michael Hawkins was playing against Kent State. And we talked about it, right? It won't be the score, and it won't even really be the stats. It'll be, does he have command of the offense? Does he look comfortable in the pocket, comfortable with his decision-making? I think the answer was no. I didn't like it. He
You get
left.
Temple vibes?
I didn't get Temple vibes. I didn't. I just got, and I'll tell you why I didn't get Temple vibes because
And,
we
and
were we
Temple
had,
2024, by the way, not this
not this
year's
year.
Temple
Yeah,
team. The Temple team that came to Norman, you blew them out with Jackson Arnold starting quarterback, but it just never looked right. You didn't get a good feeling afterwards.
here's what looked right offensively, which was positive, but it goes back. It's like what you had to say for 2 weeks, right? At Sam Houston State. You had to say it for 2 weeks. Yes, we looked better, but it's Sam Houston State. Yes, we did this better, but it's Sam Houston State. Well, we ran the ball better. 185 yards rushing as a team. Torrey Blaylock went for 78. Jay Knott, 11 for 49. I mean, that's positive. Michael Hawkins Jr. had 9 rushes for 54 yards. That's positive. I'm just talking about the drop back pass game. Like even the one touchdown he had was ugly. Like that was.
Yeah, they kind of just throwing it up there.
And did you have a chance to notice like his arm angles? That seems to be a big topic over quarterbacks recently. Is arm angles. I don't think I've heard more about it than this year. Maybe
I
since
mean,
maybe Pat.
we're analyzing these guys so much nowadays, man. It's
However,
crazy.
you're right. But however, did you notice his arm angles?
I
He had a
really
couple
did not.
passes. The problem is in the second half, your Texas game was getting kind
Yeah,
of good.
correct.
I got you. That's fine. Let me explain. There was like one pass he threw underhanded, and I think
That's
it was
interesting.
I think it was yeah, and it was interesting. I think it hit 2 feet in front of Cannon, and he was wide open, or one of our tight ends. It was weird. It just it 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 felt like a wide receiver playing quarterback.
Okay.
Like this kid played quarterback in college. I mean, I'm sorry, in high school. He was really, really, really good. He was recruited as a wide receiver. Our quarterback's down. This guy gives us the best chance to win. Let's roll this athlete out there. He didn't feel like a quarterback to me. It just, and look, he's got a rifle, right? I don't know what his mile per hours are on some of his throws, but he has got a
Yeah,
gun
it's a
on him.
velocity.
But it's so ill used, right? I mean, times that you don't need to do that. And other times when you shouldn't do that. However, this is an interesting take. You had catches from Satania, Jay Knott, Huggins, Kent, Giovanni Gibson, Deion Burks, Caden Helms. So there's a lot of dudes that got in on it, right? Jaron Canick,
Yeah.
Ivan Carrion. There's a lot of guys that got in on the catches. I think that's a function of Kent State just being so bad.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, man, I didn't love it. And then what he did to Keontez Lewis.
Yeah, that was tough, man. First of all, have you heard anything?
The only update I heard, I'm just going to Google it real quick. The only update I heard
Very
was
concerned. I watched it live, and I mean, it's a brick wall out there. It's not a padded wall like some schools have. I mean, he ran full speed into that and fell into that brick wall in the metal gate.
it was not
Pretty
good.
scary to see live.
It was not good. And I will be the first to acknowledge that OU's football stadium is tight. Texas will never have to experience it, but a lot of people have talked about how tight it is. It is tight. And I've seen people run into the walls awkwardly before. And it's even caused injuries over the years that I've noticed. I've never seen anybody hit the wall that hard.
Yeah, it was
I've
not
never
fun to
seen
watch.
it. In my 40 years of watching OU football, I've never seen anybody hit the wall that hard. Somebody might tell me, but I've never seen it. And I guess he had no idea of where he was on the field and just was like laser focused
Yeah, I
in
mean,
on the ball.
he was running full speed, man. Yeah.
And I mean, dude, he out threw him by 20 yards,
Yeah.
or out through the end zone by 20 yards. It just that wasn't good. Look, your defense is going to feel disrespected the rest of this week, your defensive staff is going to wear them out.
Yeah.
And if we have to go in with Michael Hawkins, I don't think Hawkins can have a DJ Lagway type of game.
Yes, just because, and I agree with that, right? As down as I am on Texas right now, I don't see y'all being able to run the ball like that, which will enable a play action passing game or even a drop back passing game, just because the personnel is so different. And again, the talent level between Lagway and Hawkins it's a big difference. So, is there any chance Mateer plays?
Yes.
Will
Yes.
John Mateer play?
I would put it at early in the week 65-35.
I would agree. Is he
I
ready to
think
play?
also-
I don't know.
I
But
don't know, but
yeah,
I think he is the kind. Dude, he's from Texas. He's from
Right.
Little Elm. He
Yeah.
knows what this. He knows that this is.
He knows what it
we
is.
know. We know it's the greatest rivalry in college football. You don't think he knows it's the greatest rivalry in college football?
correct.
And I'm not just saying that to like even be funny. I'm saying I think he's the kind of kid that says, "This is what made Baker Mayfield famous. This is what made Vince Young Vince Young. This is what made Sam Bradford and Colt McCoy. And unless I win this game, it's not the same."
Yeah.
I think he's that kind. I just get the vibe he's that kind of kid. And so if it is possible, I think he will play. Will he be at 100%?
No,
I don't know.
no.
Will we be able-
The answer to that is no. There's no
Will
way
we
he can
be
get
able to-
100%.
But I think Mateer at 85 gives us a better chance of winning than Hawkins at 100.
I completely agree. Completely agree. You talked about the confidence that John Mateer instills in the rest of the football team. That cannot be replicated.
No.
It just can't. Even
It
if
can't.
you like, and even if your staff, and even if the team believes in Michael Hawkins, it's not the same, man. He does not inspire that kind of confidence. Nothing against him. Just Mateer is that guy when it comes to that aspect of it, and it matters. In college football, it matters.
I don't want to pile on, but he literally led his receiver into the brick wall. You can't tell me as a receiver you don't think about that.
Of course.
Throws over the middle, stuff like that. You just can't tell me you're not thinking about it. And so it's just concerning. I was not expecting it. I think I was very optimistic about what we would see.
Yeah.
And I thought we were going to see a much calmer, more in control. Maybe it was the offensive line. Maybe they didn't give him everything he needed. Those are factors, but it's Kent freaking State. Like,
no, I did see they did have a couple of sacks, Kent State, right?
Yes.
And again, I didn't see it. I haven't seen it, so I don't. Not every sack is on the offensive line, right? Sometimes, like even in the Texas game, 6 sacks, but some of those were Archers holding onto the ball too long. He had a couple of Jackson Arnold moments back there, just waiting on plays to develop. Again, some of that goes back to a play calling issue. Like, why are you calling plays that take so long to develop down the field when you can't protect? But again, so I'm not saying that the sacks were the offensive line's fault, but I did see Hawkins got sacked twice and Whit Neubauer got sacked once.
The Whit Neubauer was in cleanup time. I don't care about that.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
As far as the Hawkins deal goes, I think it was a little O-line, a little quarterback holding onto the ball. I mean, his biggest weapon is his legs. And
Yes.
I think there's got to be an acknowledgement that it's what we talked about last week when I said the biggest issue I had in the game plan against Texas last year was that there were no called runs.
Yeah.
It's literally his best asset. He is lightning fast. He could be one of the fastest guys on the team. I don't think that's a exaggeration.
And I completely agree. Yeah, he is dynamic as an athlete. And what I haven't seen from him yet is the ability to use his legs to actually set up throws.
Right.
And Mateer is really good at that.
Arch was okay at it yesterday.
He was. And
in
look,
the
going
sense that
back,
you're talking about. Arch's pocket presence, despite the 6 sacks, he was moving
he can
up, moving
slide, he can
over.
move up. He's got a natural feel for it
Yeah,
in the pocket.
it just doesn't feel natural with Hawkins when I watch it. I mean,
Right.
I know the games were competing, and I just talked a lot about that. What were your thoughts just in what you could tell and what you could see?
Yeah, it never looked like a big time rhythm, especially in the passing game. Thankfully, you're able to run it some. I saw um, Blaylock have a couple of nice runs
Yeah.
when he was in there. I mean, 15 for 80 yards. You have to feel good about that. 5.2 yards a carry. Again, regardless of the opponent, it's 5.2 yards is 5.2 yards. Jay Knott got some run. 11 for 49, 4.5 yards a carry. What do you think about that?
Well,
11 carries. I mean, it's pretty good.
no, they tried to feed him. I don't know what to think about that, Kevin. He wasn't injured. I mean, he might have been injured in the fall camp, but he has not been injured. He has been able to play in every single
Yes, he's
game.
been held out by the team. Yes.
And so the question is, what is holding him out? And I think we can identify that Torrey Blaylock is simply a better running back than he is. I think it is at this point that simple. Now, is that because he never recovered from his injuries in 2024? And, we took a flyer on him. We said, surely if he recovers, he could be that dude again. I don't know, right? I'm not sure about that either way. But I think the simple answer is he's not as good as Torrey Blaylock.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Blaylock looks good. So, but based on what you had
based on
hoped
what we're
for,
paying, based on what we're paying him, I want to see it.
Correct. And I'm just curious, going forward, right, into the Red River Shootout, when your coaches watch the tape, they're going to be very excited on both sides of the ball. I'm just curious if you saw something that said, "Oh, okay, we might be able to establish some sort of running game here against this team." Because Florida hadn't ran it well. Ball had been good, but not necessarily dominant like that. I wonder if there's anything you see that will lead you guys to believe that you may be able to have some sort of success running them. Now, I would be surprised, but just based off what we saw.
I think you're going to see a game plan more similar to the Michigan game. Well, I don't know. It's
obviously
it's
the quarterback.
Weird.
Who plays quarterback is going to matter.
Well, and that's the thing. It's weird with material. I need to actually. I'm gonna backtrack that just a little bit. That was just off the cuff. I'm gonna backtrack that just a little bit. If Mateer was not hurt, I think we would have seen a game plan. I think this is a game where you run John Mateer 20 times.
Yeah.
You can't. We talked about it. You can't do it every week. It's the SEC. Nobody can take that level of abuse every week and expect to play quarterback. Yada yada yada. But I think in certain games you go for it. Like they did against Michigan. They're like, we are not losing to Michigan. Whatever it takes to beat Michigan. We cannot lose to Michigan. I think Texas is one of those games. And then you save them against South Carolina, and you hope you don't have to use them like that against Ole Miss, right? I think that's the thinking. Now that he's hurt, I don't know if you want to run him, because you run him and Texas is stripping at the ball and popping at the ball and doing all those things. It brings injury, into that hand. So I take that back a little bit and say, I'm not sure. I would have liked to have said that the quarterback run game is going to be where we make our hay. If Mateer's playing, I just don't know. In terms of what I saw, I'm going to say this. I like Torrey Blaylock. I think he's really, really good. He's only a true freshman. I don't think he's ball, and I don't think he's got the build. And I think you said it best, was broken tackles. Broken tackles tell me that Texas was in position and got beat.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Blaylock is a tackle breaker to the extent that Ball is. Maybe the scheme we can adjust the scheme a little bit, but I just don't know if he's running through Anthony Hill Jr. Like that is to be determined. Nothing I really saw from Ott. Ott was a little shiftier and kind of made some moves. I just don't know if he's ready for the speed of a
It's
Texas
not
defense.
sold yet. I understand. Yeah, the game next week is just fascinating for so many ways. Now, I know Brent Venables and his staff have to be salivating because the Texas offensive line is, I mean, what you guys saw from Auburn, and I know so much of that was Jackson Arnold. Texas looks worse than Auburn does up front. At least against Florida, they did.
This is your worst offensive line since 2019, 2018?
2019 was rough. Or going back to the Charlie Strong years, we had some really bad ones then. I mean, we had some guys out there that never should have been playing. I'm questioning if they should even be playing Division I football, let alone playing at the University of Texas. So,
what, back with Charlie Strong or these guys?
Well, yeah, the Charlie Strong.
Yeah,
yeah. But we have guys who have no business being on the field for the University of Texas right now, for sure.
Our defensive line is very, 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 very good.
Yes, it's outstanding.
Stone is making the leaps and bounds you hoped for. He's God bless America. He is killing it. You know what I think of Jaden Jackson. Dominic Williams is getting kind of pushed to the side of our vision. But when you watch a game, all he's doing is taking on double teams every time.
Yeah.
You know, that's his job, is to take on double teams and allow other guys to make plays. Grayson Halton's a stud. R. Mason Thomas, Marcus Jones Jr., Taylor Wine. Again, our edges. Look, Colin Simmons is just not giving you that this year.
Now, I will say he actually was pretty good. He didn't have any sacks.
But how's he not getting sacks?
I know. I have no idea. Well, okay. Teams are getting the ball out quickly against us, right? That's a fact. They just are getting it out lightning quick. But he did have a stretch where, I mean, they had a drive, and it was a big drive too, where we punted, and he, on 3 straight plays, made 3 straight TFLs. It was, or either TFLs or plays at the line of scrimmage, where he's just taking on their left tackle. Who's
you only had 3 TFLs, so
correct.
I don't
he
think
was
he made
the
3 straight.
only bit of a bright spot that I could think of from Texas defensive performance.
But I don't think you look at him. I don't think if you looked at his stat line versus R. Mason Thomas, and I consider the fact we've played against 2 good opponents. Y'all played against 2 good opponents. I don't know that you look, if you just had a blank stat line, if you're like, Colin Simmons is so much better than R. Mason Thomas. I think you look at it and go,
no.
Maybe I like the kid from Oklahoma.
R. Mason Thomas has been
more
the player that we expected him to be.
Yeah.
And Colin Simmons has not.
And Colin Simmons has. So anyway, I say all that to say, and then with our secondary, we got nothing from Kent State. I just don't think you have the weapons. You don't have Cam Coleman.
Oh, no, we don't have Cam Coleman. And well, here's the thing, though. Even if I do like some of our matchups, which I do, by the way, but we can't give our quarterback the time to get the ball to them unless we're throwing quick game, which blows my mind. We've seen nothing from Texas with the quick game, which is a staple of Sark, was a staple for us every year since he's been our head coach. And we've seen no screen game at all. So I don't know if our perimeter blocking sucks.
Quinn was very, very, very effective at screen game and slants.
Yeah, intermediate little quick crossers.
And quick outs. He was very, very, we questioned Quinn on his mechanics on his long ball, the ability to drop it in. You didn't see a lot of dropping it over the linebacker. Quinn, there were things obviously that he wasn't as good at, but man, he got rid of the ball quick. Like I think about that Michigan game. He never got touched. I mean, he just
no.
And so I don't know. You got to think that quarterbacks like that stuff, but you're just not seeing it.
And I have no idea why. Yeah, I know Arch is better throwing down the field. We've seen it this year.
Yeah, but you
But
you
so I
can't
don't
get.
know what he's doing. And like I said, man, all the grief I gave Brent Venables last year for mismanaging the OU roster, I'm giving the same stuff to Sark because the options were out there in the portal, and Texas is a place that is very attractive to somebody who's in the portal. Obviously, we know City of Austin, good NIL, back-to-back playoff appearance. What's there not to like, right? And they said, nah, we're good. We're good with the guys we got. Think about
I
this,
think.
John. Real quick. Think about
Yeah.
this. 2 years ago, Ohio State, they're in the playoff every year. They have Travion Henderson, who's a great running back, one of the best in the country. What do they go do? Go out and get the number one running back in the portal and Quinshawn Judkins. They have Julian Sands last year, right? What do they go out and do? Get Will Howard. You know what I mean?
Or you have to.
They have talented
You
players in
have
the
to.
secondary. What did they go do? They went and got Caleb Downs, number one safety in the portal, because they were determined to make their team better. And what did they do? They won the national championship. They didn't just rest on the talent. Nobody recruits better than Ohio State. They recruit as good as anybody. Georgia, Ohio State, Texas have been the top 3 recruiting schools the last couple of seasons. They didn't rest on that. They were so aggressive. They went out and got the players that made them better, and they carried that to a national title. We were not nearly as aggressive, and we're paying for it now. And as far as this offensive line, I don't see how it gets better. I
So
just don't see how it gets better. We're playing
my
better
early
opponents as the season goes on.
my early outlook on the game is I was wrong about it with Florida, but I'm going to still say take the under 42.5. I think I'm going to
I
take
would
the
say
under.
take the under too, especially Michael Hawkins is playing.
Yeah, and I think this could be a slugfest, dude. Like this, the winning team could win 13-7.
Correct.
I mean, I really think that. That sounds crazy.
In
And
2001, Mike, remember that?
yes, what 2001, 14-3.
14-3 off the
And one of those touchdowns came on the Superman play. You know,
yeah, one touchdown offensively in the game, and the only reason that touchdown happened, if you remember that, is because when Hibble got injured, Jason White came on, and you started running the option.
Yeah,
and you scored on that drive. Texas adjusted to it, and then, but you had that one drive of just running a system that Texas hadn't seen on tape, so you get the touchdown, and then that's it. That's all you needed. It could be that type of game. Everything is going to be paramount. Turnovers, field position, it's all going to be vital, especially if Michael Hawkins is playing quarterback.
Yeah, because I think our defense is really good. I think they're salivating over your offense.
Oh my God.
I just don't know. I don't know how.
Really?
But Kevin, I don't know how we run the ball. And when you look at an OU Texas matchup, it's always who runs the ball better. Like
every year.
I think you can look at the last 25 games, and whoever runs the ball better wins the game. Dude, we both suck. Like,
yeah,
I'm not sure who's going. And Oklahoma is the 6th-ranked team in the country, and I am saying I do not know how they run the ball against Texas. Yeah. And I don't think that's now. Am I going to get a little braver as the week goes on? And on Wednesday, am I going to be a little cocky? You bet I am. Sunday of OU Texas, I have zero idea how we're going to run the ball. None.
Well, neither do I, because our offensive line. I mean, I don't know how good you guys are, but I know you're not horrible because Auburn has a good front, and you kept Material pretty clean.
Yeah,
you kept him pretty clean, and he wasn't scrambling, and he was able to sit in the pocket for the most part.
Yes, especially in the second half. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin, let's go through the scores from last week. Real quick. OU did not.
I know you got a hard stop coming up, so I know we'll get through this quickly.
I do have a hard stop coming up because if I don't pick up my wife from the airport, you know how that goes. But that's okay. She'll be all right. Look, it's OU Texas week. She gets it. All right. So, but yes, we will make every attempt.
She does, but you'd actually like to still be alive to attend the game this week. So I think it's best if you get there.
Kevin, you think I'm scared of her? You think I'm scared of my wife? You think I walk around?
No.
Tiptoeing?
Is not.
You think I go tiptoeing around my own house?
No. No, not necessarily tiptoeing, but I mean, picking up somebody from the airport, that's different. After a long flight, you want to be there.
That's a good point. All right. Real quick. OU did not cover. That's a loss for both of us. Texas, I'm sorry. You had Texas covering. I had Florida covering. Not to win, but I had them covering. I get the point. That's a win for me, loss for you. We both had Bama, win-win. We both had Miami, win-win. We both had Mississippi State. That sucked. A&M, we can start there.
Yeah.
Hold up. So that takes our records 10, 19, and 1 for you, 13, 16, and 1 for me. You just can't get over these 2 and 3 losses. You got to, 2 and 3 weeks. I've had a couple winning weeks. We're putting a little momentum together. Let's start
my success in this picks are very similar to Texas so far this season. Just not there, man. Just not quite there.
All right, A&M Mississippi State. I just want to start there. There was a couple of bigger games, but I got to tell you, I want to start there because A&M's making me nervous, bro. I do not like the fact that A&M is playing this well.
They look really good, and their defense, whatever happened in those first few weeks when they're giving up those 75-yard touchdown runs to UTSA and everybody else, that seems to have gone away. I mean, when you keep a Jeff Levy coach team out of the end zone for 3.5 quarters.
They went for 40 against Tennessee.
Correct. And when you can shut them down like that, I mean, it's a big deal, man. And they've always had the talent. They've always had elite talent, but it's just never clicked with the coaching, the development, and the talent. And it looks like it's starting to, right? And the schedule, man, really sets up for them this year too.
And they're running the ball, right? Because I still don't think Marcel Reed is, the most efficient, accurate quarterback. He's not. He's making some big time throws though. When he does make them, they're big time. And he's not turning the ball. He's not turning the ball. But their Owens kid ran 21 carries, 142 yards.
Exactly. Look, when they're running the ball like that, he doesn't have to be great.
He doesn't. And I know you like Elko. You're like best friends with Mike Elko, which is kind of
not best friend. I mean, I think he's kind of goofy, but I mean, he's been a good coach wherever he's been.
I'm worried he's figuring it out. Should I be concerned that they're figuring it out? Do you agree with that?
Yes. It appears we go by what we see, right? As much as we have biases for teams and against teams, we have to go by what we see. And when I see them, I see a very talented and I must say well-coached football team. Be nice.
Interestingly enough, Ole Miss is the highest ranked team in the AP from the SEC. Number 5 is A&M. Number 6 is OU. Bama at 8, Georgia at 10, LSU 11, Tennessee 12, Missouri, and then Vandy at 20. If A&M played Ole Miss today, neutral field, you're taking A&M, right? Because I think they've got a better defense. I think they got a better defense.
Correct. They have a better defense. They have better players top to bottom. Yes.
And Oklahoma at 6, I like them against Ole Miss. Like I'm not. I think that's a game that OU can win.
Yes.
I'm not.
You'll be tested.
I think it'd be a hell of it. I think it'd be a great game.
It'd be a good football game, but you get after their quarterback.
I think we could get at. That's exactly right. I don't know. Chambliss could get after it. That's what makes me a little nervous about him.
He can get loose. I think you'd have a good scheme for him, especially if you can get something out of your offense.
BV is usually pretty good at scheming that up. But A&M, I don't know, man. I'm not sure we could run on A&M. I mean, I don't think we could at all. And they've got speed too. And that Concepcion kid you've been talking about all year, oh my God.
It's awesome, man. And Mario Craver too, who they stole from Mississippi State. They stole him, but they got him out of the portal. They've got legit. They basically did what Texas normally does, which again blows my mind that we didn't do that. We could have gotten Concepcion. We could have gotten Mario Craver.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yes.
BYU stays ranked with a win against West Virginia, 38-24. Ohio State finally, in my mind, looked like Ohio State and took care of Minnesota 42-3. They were down 0-3 for a little bit. PJ Fleck was flexing, and that didn't last long. Julian Sain went 23 of 27, 326, and 3 touchdowns. Again, I haven't been high on this kid. I don't know how good Minnesota is. Maybe they're not worth a flip. Those are fantastic numbers. And Ohio State finally looked like the best team in the country.
Yeah, it's coming together, and Julian Sand is basically doing what I thought Arch would do.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's what he's looking like. He looks great, and good for him. And
he's
again,
getting a little bit better he kind of looks like what Will Howard looked like last year, really.
That's true. Yeah, improving as the season. It looks like they're giving him more and more. They're
Yeah.
pretty conservative against Texas, right? They didn't want to screw it up. They didn't want to put him in a position to turn the ball over. Texas gets a pick six. But they're giving him more, they're putting a little bit more on his shoulders every week, and he appears to be responding well. Real quick, though, on A&M, real quick, the schedule. Florida this week, that's actually turning to a very intriguing game.
Yep, that got
at Arkansas,
which,
I mean, it's Arkansas, right? At LSU was interesting, too, now. But after that, at Missouri, South Carolina, at home, Samford, and then at Texas. That's not a bad schedule if you're A&M. I know it's the SEC and it's tough every week, but there's no Alabama, there's no Georgia.
And Texas doesn't look like Texas.
Exactly. And there's no Ole Miss.
There's Oklahoma.
Exactly. So the schedule really sets up for them.
And no Tennessee, right?
No Tennessee either. So if you're talking about college football playoff, it's really looking good for Aggies. And, you know, they can Aggie it and screw it up.
No, they can screw it up.
You would think that they would have to be, I don't want to say a lot, but you would have to feel really good about your chances of making the college football playoff for the first time if you're Texas A&M.
They're on the inside track, that's for sure. Miami beats Florida State like we thought they would. The score is 28-22. It wasn't that close.
No.
Carson Beck, 20 of 27, 241 for 4 touchdowns. I don't know. Miami is rolling. They look really good.
Looked so much more physically impressive than Florida State did.
They did.
I mean, like, these guys are big, and they are fast, and they are physical. Sometimes it's hard to take them serious. They look like a very serious team this year.
There is something about what's the name of their stadium? Florida State Stadium.
Florida State, Doak Campbell.
Doak Campbell. There is something about Doak Campbell's camera angle. And I brought this up before.
You have.
It makes teams look bigger and faster than they are.
Okay, that's interesting.
It just does. Just trust me. Like, you think about it. Think about like mid-2000s, like mid to early 2000s, when Miami and Florida State were starting their decline. Mm-hmm. They were still opening the season against each other. And you'd watch that game and you'd be like, oh my God, these guys are so big and so fast and hit so hard. And then the schedule would play out and you're like, what happened to the team I saw week 1?
Yeah, Miami 7-4.
Yeah, exactly, right? And Florida State, not much better, or, whatever. And there is something about that camera. OU played them there in 2012, 2011 maybe, with Landry Jones. And, dude, we look like the best team in the country. We look like the best team in the country. E.J. Manuel was their quarterback. We looked so good, and I was like, my God, this is our year. Something happens in that stadium. So that's the only caution I'll give you. That being said, I think Miami is a firm number 2. I've got no issues with them.
And really, I'm just comparing how Miami looked compared to Florida State.
No, I understand, but
yeah,
I understand that. Miami looked really good. Okay, we haven't even got to this game. I mean, this is the crazy score of the day is UCLA Penn State 42-37. It's a 1-score game, but I feel like UCLA had a 2-score lead the entire day.
Correct.
Nico Imaliavea. Thank you. Finally looked like Nico. 17 of 24 for 166 and 2 touchdowns, but he ran 16 for 128 and 3 touchdowns. He was responsible for 5 touchdowns against Penn State's vaunted defense in front of 20,000 fans. Like, there was nobody there. Dude, if you're Penn State, you have gone from top 2 in the country to completely out of the polls in 2 weeks. You could understand the Oregon loss. you cannot explain the loss to a winless UCLA team. They
No,
made Nico look like a Heisman contender.
correct. Yeah, and basically it's like they let Oregon beat them twice. All right, where I don't know if
Yeah.
they're physically
That's a great take.
still tired, but it's just a game you can't lose. And you still had everything in front of you, even after the Oregon loss. And we talk about James Franklin and a guy who can't win the big games. He usually doesn't lose this type of game, so it has to be really concerning for Penn State. And we talk about this, right? Your margin of error for competing for your conference and or making the college football playoff, and theirs is completely gone with the loss to UCLA. And the schedule for them, let me pull it up real quick. Hold on. I'm on their own website, and this is weird. They've got.
While you're pulling
I've got it here.
Okay, go ahead.
Real quick. I'll be quick. They've got Northwestern win, obviously at Iowa, which is a tough game every time. November 1st, man, they got to go to Ohio State.
Yeah.
So then they play Indiana.
Yeah.
So it's tough at Michigan State versus Nebraska at Rutgers.
They can recover.
They lost their margin for error. They can
recover. It'll be interesting to see if they've knocked themselves out of the Big Ten championship. A 10-2 Penn State team probably gets in.
Yes, but can you see them running the table with games at Iowa, at Ohio State, and home against Indiana?
Not after what I saw against UCLA,
I can't see them running the table. That's just a tough. And that's the thing, like with Texas, obviously, any talk of Texas in the playoff is gone. Right? Yeah, it's completely over. But I'm talking about margin of error. When they lost to Ohio State, that's your margin of error gone. And then losing this game, again, they don't look anything like a playoff team. But just say they lost a last-second field goal game to Florida, where they played well and just still lost. Their margin for error would be gone. That's what's happened with Penn State. You have zero margin for error. You can't drop the Ohio State game now.
The only note I wanted to make is UCLA had fired their coach. So there's an interim coach. I don't even know who the interim coach's name is. But the interim offensive coordinator is Garrett Neuheisel.
Wow.
He looks just like his dad with long hair. I don't know if this is going to be a jumping off board for Nico and UCLA, if things could potentially change. Sounds like you've got a nice young coordinator who's been around the game, but probably has his own ideas. That's going to be an interesting nugget to pay attention to. Might explain Penn State just not being ready. Maybe there wasn't things they saw on tape, and then once they were behind, they couldn't do enough to catch up. To be fair to Penn State, they did score 37 points, which is a lot, including for a Penn State team.
30 in the second half.
Yeah, it's a lot for a Penn State team. So let's just see. I'm not writing Penn State off yet, but they're in the write-off column, right?
Yeah, they're on fraud watch.
Fraud watch,
right?
Yes, 100%.
Right with Texas, I think that it's pretty established there.
Alabama, this was a ball game. Beats Vandy 30-14, but it was 14-14. And there was a point where Vandy was looking to score to go up 14-0. Pavia fumbles it in the red zone. And that kind of shifted the mood. Alabama kind of exerted themselves a little bit. Ty Simpson had a good game, 23 of 31, 342 touchdowns. Ryan Williams looked like that dude, the dude that we're talking about, Texas not having. 6 for 98 and a touchdown, and just finds ways to get open, helps his quarterback out. Vandy is not going to be an easy out, but Bama, back-to-back Georgia Vandy, they're moving in the right direction.
They are headed in the right direction. Ty Simpson continues to impress, and they're able to run the ball this game. And that's kind of been a big question for them, is having no real consistency with the running game. 22 for 136 for Jan Miller is a big deal. Ryan Williams looked great, and Jeremy Bernard continues to impress. And Diego Pavia talked a lot of trash, which I respect that he's willing to put himself out there. But 2 big turnovers in that game. The interception also had a big fumble too. So in a game that they had a chance to win. So kind of sucks for him. But sometimes you got to take that if you're going to put yourself out there and talk the trash. Because I know some Alabama fans, and some Alabama players had some things to say to him on the field after the game.
It's okay. He put himself
Yeah.
out there. That's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
he put himself out there. Yeah, you got to take it though. I think I saw he was drawn back to some Alabama fans. You got to eat that one though. You got to eat that one. Put yourself out there.
Yeah, listen, ifs and buts, but they score on that drive that he fumbles on and put
Correct.
Alabama down 14-0, and don't let Alabama run the ball like you said they did well. If they take that out of the playbook, well, now we start to have a little bit different ball game. But you cannot give those away on the road. You just can't, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who it is. Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Tech. You cannot give the ball away in the red zone against a good SEC team and expect to come out of their house with a win.
It's vital. And as far as Texas, we got to play Vanderbilt here in a couple weeks, November 1st. Texas on the road, right, against Florida, Red River Shootout, neutral site, on the road against Kentucky, on the road at Mississippi State, and then home against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that Mississippi State game looks a little easier after that this week, but
I don't know, man. That Levy offense, man, really puts you in some conflict. A&M had a great plan, though. Give them credit. And then after Vanderbilt, at Georgia, by the way, for Texas.
Texas Tech beats Houston 35-11. Who is the best team in Texas right now? Is it
Texas A&M? Yeah, and then followed by Tech.
Tech's pretty good, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Their NIL dollars are delivering. Now, they're delivering against Big 12 competition. I get it. But they're going to be in the playoff, right? Or am I talking out of my butt here?
I think they were my pick to win the Big 12 before the season started, and they look good. So at this current path that they're on, right? Iowa State lost, so they're firmly in control of the conference.
Do they have
right
to play?
Now.
I don't know if they have to play BYU or not. That if they have to go to Provo, that could be pretty good game.
That's always anytime you got to go there, it's always interesting.
BYU
right now they look good, and they're the guys that they brought in. And again, I keep bringing it back to Texas. These are, and I say this, John, because I'm not just saying like every guy who's having success, but the guys that they got, Texas was linked with all of them. I read about these guys during the portal window. So I'm not just like, oh, Texas gonna have that guy. Like, I'm serious.
Kevin, look at Oklahoma. John Mateer, offensive lineman. You had to go and get them. It just was a running back. Blaylock's been a revelation, but you had to go get Ott. How it turned out is one thing, but you had to go get him. You weren't having any production. It's
Ahmad
so
Hardy
necessary.
at Missouri, leading the nation in rushing.
It's so necessary.
He's from Louisiana Monroe, John. In the portal. There for we played against him last year.
Kevin, this is as frustrated as I've heard you sound about a Texas team in the 3 years we've done this podcast.
Yes, because like I said, we have not looked this bad since we started the podcast.
No, you haven't.
And again,
you know what?
The defense could be a blip.
Dude, it gives me no solace going into the Cotton Bowl though. Zero solace. You're telling me Texas can't roll in and beat Oklahoma next on? That's my biggest concern.
Right.
Is it 3-2 Texas, who hasn't beat diddly do, who looked like terrible against a 1-3 Florida team? Can't come in. They absolutely can. Oklahoma's got to wake up. You cannot. You can't take anything from that Kent State game. Not any. Anyway, dude, man, listen. Okay. Georgia, Kentucky, Georgia rolled. We knew that would. Listen, here's the thing. Cincinnati, Iowa State. Cincinnati was favored. We talked about this. I would have picked Iowa State. I guess Cincinnati's pretty good.
And here's the thing, man. They got out to a hot start. They were up big in this game.
Yes,
and they had a pretty good comeback attempt from Iowa State in the second half. Cincinnati only scored 7 in the second half, but they're up 31. They're up 31-7 at one point. And like I said, a nice attempt to come back by Iowa State. But they're just in too deep of a hole to come out of it. But yeah, Cincinnati now 4-1, 2-0 in the Big 12. Vegas was all over this, by the way.
They were. Michigan beats Wisconsin 24-10. Notre Dame rolls Boise State 28-7. Here's the problem. Notre Dame's going to mess around to make the playoff.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
they went Boise, out, they'll be.
They play USC. That maybe I don't. You know how I feel about USC. So.
Of course. But the way that Notre Dame's defense has been a little up and down this year, so we'll see what
maybe. But outside of that game, I don't see a loss of their schedule.
Neither do I.
And I'm reaching for the USC loss. Like I'm reaching for it.
Big time.
Illinois beats Purdue, and Virginia beats Louisville in overtime. What do you got before we close? Big wins
back to back for Virginia. Texas Tech, you mentioned if they play BYU. Texas Tech does play BYU, but that game is in Lubbock.
What an awful place to play a football game.
I would agree. November 8th for that game.
You saw that a couple weeks ago, Colorado got fined for chanting an obscene an obscene chant at BYU. Did you see that?
Yeah, not cool.
Not cool. And then in light of the latest tragedy at an LDS church last weekend, I think it's even less cool. I'm going to say I don't put anything past Texas Tech, though. Do you?
No.
They're worse. No. They're the worst fan base in the world, maybe. They're awful.
I haven't been to a ton of stadiums. Now, you've been to Columbus, right? But I've never been treated worse than I love it.
No, I mean, I guess we could go to LSU and maybe get treated.
Yeah.
I hear that could be awful. But Texas Tech has nothing. At least LSU's won national championships in the last 25 years.
Yeah,
3 of them, I think.
And I heard that. Obviously, I heard the LSU fans on the Sugar Bowl, the national championship you guys played in after the 03 seasons, were abysmal. I've heard that. But
they were abysmal, but so was our play calling. I don't know. I hate. You know what? I want BYU to go ahead and step up and beat them. Yeah, everybody knows I got a soft spot for BYU.
Yeah, you got family connections there.
We got family connections there, and wife was born in Utah. Yeah, I hope BYU beats them. I just don't know if they will. I think Texas Tech's really good. I think they're really, really good. When is that game?
November 8th.
Okay, so we got a month. Kevin.
Yeah.
If you're catching the late end of this podcast, you need to be at, and I'm talking about you, the listeners, need to be at the Chicken Shack, Arcadia, off of Route 66, October 8th, Wednesday at 6:30. Kevin and I are going to be recording live. Look at this man. Look at the energy this man brought to you today. Okay? That's what he's going to bring on Wednesday. And I need backup. I cannot refute the logic that this man brings. We know that. So I need all the help I can get. So Sooner fans, Texas fans, football fans, Chicken Shack, 6:30 Wednesday. We will be previewing OU Texas, the greatest rivalry in college football. Texas has taken some of the shine off of it by flopping in the swamp, but that's okay because we all know that the records mean nothing when these two teams meet in Dallas, Texas, and it's happening this Saturday. The greatest rivalry in college football, 2:30, ABC. Is game day going to be there? Do we know, or did we lose game day?
Probably not. I think Texas screwed that up.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a freaking
lot. Honestly, I haven't heard, but I would think that.
All right. This is the last thing. This is the last thing I'm going to check before.
I mean, we got Alabama, Missouri this week. Ohio State, Illinois.
Is it week 7?
It is.
Oregon. Freaking
They're
Oregon.
Playing Indiana.
Thanks a lot, Texas. You know, Texas, that's your fault. Kevin, you know that, right? That's not our fault. That's your fault.
Yeah, this one's on us, for sure. For sure.
I wanted to see Pat McAfee. I'm starting to like that guy.
He's all right.
All right.
Kevin, he's a little much.
It's OU Texas week. You better lock in. Lock in, Kevin.
I'm locked in.
I don't know if you're locked in or not. Your team just got their butts kicked. Caused this game
I'm
day.
locked in.
You might not be locked in. Maybe you're like all
I'm
of
locked in.
Listen, I know OU's got to lock in because I don't care what Texas's record is. The hate is real, both sides of the Red River, and it's happening Saturday. Kevin, oh, by the way, real quick, Tampa Bay with the win. All Baker Mayfield does is win in fourth quarter games. It's unbelievable. I don't know what that kid is doing down there at Tampa Bay, but another big win for them. I just had to give a shout out to Bake. Kevin, have a great week. Boomer!
Welcome.